because boys,
So
I
let's
mean,
teach them. Let's give
yeah.
them the tools. So in my books, that's what I do. I try to, let them express it through drawing, through, with their stuffed animals, through song, through dance, whatever. Let them express what they're feeling and
So,
trust them.
Alistair, that sounds somewhat at odds to what you were saying about not teaching about sexuality.
No, I didn't say not teaching about sexuality. I
Okay, I
said that
misheard
it's
you.
about we need to view it in such a way where they're not bombarded with lots of information, because the sexualization of kids is getting younger all the time.
Mm.
That's what I'm pointing to here,
Right.
because if we one of the tools that is really useful in this that we can use as a guide, there's that intersection of the theory of the 7 years cycles in each life from Rudolf Steiner when we look at educational development, but then also correlating with the integration of each
Can you just,
chakra.
I don't know about that. Can you just briefly cover that for me?
Yeah, basically, so we go through 7 year cycles in life as we kind of go through different stages of development, and ultimately our youth ends at the age of 49 when we've gone through this the final cycle.
For men or for women or for both? Because I know men don't mature.
Everyone.
Okay.
Humans in human form. And there is an Eastern belief where each chakra takes 7 years to integrate. If we're thinking of a chakra as a metaphorical portal of energy rather than, say, a physical thing in the body. So the first 7 years of life, a child is learning to be safe.
Right.
Learning that they're safe in their environment, that they are comfortable in their environment as the root center. All of this kind of stuff starts to open up, and we bring in all of this. The next center, the sacral center, in our very sort of, again, I don't want to sound like I'm absolutely disdain for Western spirituality, but people point the sacral center as the one that is to do with sex. It's not. That's part of its function. It's about physical connection and learning to be in the body. So that would take you from the age of 7 to 14. And then we get into the solar plexus, where we're dealing with will and ego and your place in the world, 14 to 21. If you can track that, you then start to see that there are appropriate points to introduce different concepts in the curriculum. You don't just shove everything down their throats at like the age of 10.
Yeah.
You start to look at like, okay, so where are we kind of crossing over to a point here where those physical aspects, they're now sort of starting to kind of take more hold, and we need to educate people, because, abstinence is not the solution. Anything like that, all these kind of religious ideas is nonsense. That's why sex is so in your face, because it's the one form of protest that people have. However, here's a very interesting book that I recommend. I have access to my library again. We want to check that out. When God Had a Wife. Because the repression of the feminine, the repression of the goddess in favor of the singular God, which was a regional God, not an absolute God, just to exert power over a small group of people upon pain of death by zealots to deal with trauma thousands of years ago. This has been alive and well in the collective unconscious.